This national park might be the most geographically diverse place in the entire US national park system. Some people even consider it the best one, and not just because it's beautiful. It's the only place on Earth where you can see mountain glaciers, temperate rainforests, and sea stacks all within miles of each other. But can I get the true experience with just 24 hours here? I visited on an extremely tight schedule. Is that even possible? Can you actually have fun doing that? This is part 2 of many where I'm on a mission to visit every US national park. And these aren't just hiking videos. We'll also dive into every park's most interesting story. In this video, I'll explore 3 major regions. And along the way, I'll share a surprising story about something mysterious hiding in this park. Let's go. I was in the Seattle area for a weekend, so I decided to check out a park I've heard a ton of positive things about. Olympic. I didn't know much, but I did know that the park covers the entire peninsula on the left side of Washington state. But it already looked like transportation would be a major challenge. I have been sitting here coming up on an hour. Olympic is 2.5 hours from Seattle, but it can be way longer if there are bridge closures. And to make matters worse, Olympic isn't built like other national parks. You won't find any roads that go through the entire park. You have to exit, re-enter, and drive for an hour and a half between every major spot. But all those worries melted away when I made it to Olympic. This place immediately felt magical. But now I'm on a time crunch, so I decided to see one of Olympic's best areas, but I ran into another obstacle. Was this whole idea over before it even began? It was like driving up into a cloud. But then suddenly, this is so freaking cool. Right now I'm at Hurricane Ridge. I started emerging above the cloud layer. The whole landscape suddenly opened up. It's just swirling around all these mountains. It is so pretty. Hurricane Ridge's weather can change at a whim. All right, we're at the top. This whole place just feels so incredible. Some people spend a few days backpacking, and that's the best way to get glacier views. But I was happy just to hike 1 to 2 miles around the top and taking these Olympic mountains. The Olympics trap all the moisture coming in from the Pacific. Some parts of the park get hundreds of inches of rain per year. I was excited just to take in all these views. Until the wind blew over my camera. But hey, it is the weather that makes this place so great. On my way down, I ran into an extra surprise I didn't plan for. I made a quick dinner stop at Granny's Cafe. Their burgers and soft serve were great. But before turning in for the night, I decided to keep exploring just a little bit further down the highway. One of Olympic's best selling points is that this place is stuffed with surprises. I knew Lake Crescent was supposed to be pretty, but I didn't know it was this pretty. On one hand, I felt like I was having a great time in Olympic. But on the other hand, I started to realize that part of Olympic's appeal is just getting lost around here. You could spend a full day just exploring the views around this one lake. But my goal was still to see all the biggest things here. And first thing tomorrow, I'd get out to see Olympic's most popular attraction. It is very early in the morning, and we are headed off to the Hoh Rain Forest in Olympic National Park. The Hoh Rain Forest can have lines for parking that are up to 2 hours long. Not gonna lie, if you're willing to get up early, that is a huge advantage. And driving in, this place feels like a completely different planet. And what a weird landscape. I'm driving in and there's just moss everywhere. I've never seen a landscape quite like this. It's hanging from the branches, it's on the tree trunks, it is everywhere. The Hoh Rainforest is one of the most unusual places on Earth. Almost every global rainforest is in a tropical region, but just 5% of them, like this one, are in a temperate region. This is what huge chunks of the planet looked like millions of years ago. And it's the ancestral home of the Hoh Native American tribe, who spent thousands of years hunting and gathering up and down this area. These places like the Hall of Mosses exist because the rainforest gets 12 feet of rain per year, making it quite possibly the wettest place in the continental US. And with how dark and mysterious this place feels, the Hall of Mosses lines up perfectly with something else I discovered here. Olympic is unusual for something you might not expect. It has, by far, the most sightings in the US of one mysterious creature. Bigfoot. Washington State has had 708 Bigfoot sightings, almost double anywhere else, and a lot of them are concentrated here in Olympic. It's even a big attraction for Forks, which is really only a few minutes away from all these park locations. They have an entire museum and gift shop dedicated to Bigfoot. I honestly don't know why Sasquatch gets spotted so frequently here. And Olympic and Forks get associated with another franchise. I'm not exactly a Twilight fan, but I guess when in Rome. Anyway, it's a good thing I got to the Hoh Rainforest so early because the crowds are really starting to roll in, even at 8 a.m. But it's worth it. This place should absolutely be on your bucket list if you're a national park lover. By this point, I'm mostly feeling good about my 24 hours. I'd already seen the mountains and rainforest. I just had one more major region to see. If I can actually make it. I tried to go right for the top attraction here, but it turned out the road was just completely closed. So I started right down at the most famous beach.
Hey, the push, baby.
Should I know what that means?
The push beach. The push.
The push.
La push.
This place initially looked like a total wall of fog. I was starting to think my 24-hour plan might be coming back to haunt me. All right, we are out here at the beach. For the first time, I think this might be somewhat truly affected by weather. It did clear up a little though as soon as I got closer to the beach. You can't quite see everything. You can't see all the hills. You can see the sea stacks, and they do look very cool. I've never seen any like these ones before. They're crowned in evergreen trees, and they look even better when they're slightly shrouded in fog. I can see why the beaches are a really popular part of this park. That said, I didn't feel like I was getting the real Olympic Beach experience yet. Overall, still worth seeing. I felt like I needed more time with the beaches here. It added an extra hour of driving, but Ruby Beach is one of Olympic's other most popular beaches. I was just hoping Ruby Beach would be worth it. And it ended up being my favorite beach here. It doesn't fully come through in the footage, but this beach just lets you get so much closer to the greatest things here. This really was the Olympic Beach experience that I had been searching for. And I even capped things off by visiting the Tree of Life. Apparently, no one knows how this got this way, but it certainly does look cool. All in all, I felt like my visit to Ruby Beach really rounded out the entire trip. But was it actually worth packing this trip into just 24 hours? Well, I think that's close to about it for the Olympic trip. Do I think I got the real experience? Yes and no. I still get FOMO for so many of the things I missed. Visiting Soldock Falls, doing a longer hike like Mount Storm King.
I absolutely would spend at least 2 or 3 days here.
But then on the other hand, this really was my only short-term opportunity to see Olympic.
If you can only fit 1 day, I think definitely worth it. It is way better than just skipping the park entirely.
Tell me in the comments if there's something big you think I missed or any spots you would have wanted to see more of. I'm rarely in this part of the country, and I don't know the next time I would have made it out here. If anything, my visit gave me even more confidence that I do really want to come back someday.
Was it worth it? I think the answer is mostly yes.
The best part of Olympic caught me off guard. I expected it to be the mountains or the temperate rainforests. I really can see why so many people love this place. But this place is at its best when you find all of the smaller surprises that it hides in and around those more famous things. It's the pristine lakes, the quieter beaches, the mysterious fog. It is beautiful. Feels like it totally embodies the Pacific Northwest in every way, shape, and form. And now I get why people love Olympic just so much. It packs so much more than expected into a single national park. Thanks for coming along with us. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel. And if you want to see more trips like this, you can watch another trip on my channel if you want to keep exploring.